have a look at the heat sheets as you join us this morning. Round 4 is a non-elimination. Winners are rewarded by going straight through to quarterfinals. Ian Gouveia and Matt Wilkinson, two goofy footers, take on the all-star Julian Wilson. And this is going to be a difficult one to predict on paper, Potts, because Wilco has finaled here before last year.
Yeah, and so is Julian Wilson a couple of years ago up against Owen Wright. Owen taking that perfect heat with 20 points in the final up against Julian, but Julian surfed incredibly well. So, and he's been surfing well, you know, all the way through, really. And the surprise thing with Cloudbreak is even when it's in that 2 to 4 foot range, you get the odd 5 footer comes around the corner. Well,
here we go. Opening ride of today's competition. Sees the young Brazilian serving his rookie year on tour, Ian Gouveia. Little in and out. Potts, you mentioned already his second trip here, so trying to build experience is that young Brazilian. But this man comes to this heat with the most experience on paper. Julian Wilson, straight to work. And he'll just, well, he'll come clean on that second turn now. Third one already chipped away. We are moving towards the higher tide here, so it has got a point break look to it, and Julian will hack away at it. Just a little grab of the rail again. So a few little blemishes for the opener for Julian Wilson, but nonetheless, he'll get his campaign underway here. 35 minutes on offer for this heat. Let's have a look at this. Start breaking down as we go to the replays.
Yeah, Julian sitting on just a little bit of a different part of the reef there. I love that beautiful foam climb maneuver. Tail tapping drop falling out of the sky. Just taking it easy on this first wave, making sure he just gets a score on the board. You talk about a few blemishes. That's us just being very critical of Julian surfing. One of the best techniques out there, that bottom turn, top turn combo. I love the way he gets nice and low off the bottom.
Wake up tomorrow and see. Right now we're, you know, forecast, we're kind of giving it a little bit of a, got to wake up and watch and see what's happening. It hasn't been as accurate as we would have liked. There's also a wild card of Friday afternoon, but right now Thursday looks like it's going to be the day.
Yeah, it has been a tough period, hasn't it, to call, but there's some barrels out there now, and I heard you got one this morning.
I didn't get any barrels, no. I was out there and I got a couple of little fun waves. The waves are really fun. Saw a couple of good barrels, really lined up this morning.
There's been a no losers round. Let's have a look at Matty Wilco's wave. This is his opening exchange here. Beautiful speed line into that first turn. A little hung up, but then starts to unwind here. Watch this last turn from Matty Wilco. I love that sliding maneuver that he's got going on. Just releases the fins out the back of the wave, gets that drift.
Seems way back, Potts, about 8 or 9 days ago, right at the start of the waiting period.
Yeah.
But we love that X factor, as we mentioned, that Matty Wilkinson brings. And Julian, higher on the priority ladder, will gain the access to this wave. Nice tight clip to the lip. Waiting for him to come around the section. So we mentioned the tide filling in. Around 8:20 now.
One of the best air games in the world, one of the best bottom turn, top turn combos in the world, but let's not forget this kind of stuff that he's getting better and better and better at. So becoming more and more of a complete professional surfer, more of a danger man, and I think that's going to contribute maybe towards a world title one day.
Well, as we look back at highlights of Julian Wilson in 2015, what Julian brought to the competitive scale here was only overshadowed by Owen Wright's perfect 20 stories.
Yeah, oh my God, that was an unbelievable wave right there from Julian Wilson, just standing tall inside the beast. I love it. Yep. And a great opportunity right now for Matty Wilco to not just get the yellow jersey, but move up a few spots. Beautiful opening maneuver. There's that gliding turn that we love so much from Matty Wilco. Straight into the next one. That board is looking really good underneath his feet. He's looking confident. And I tell you what, he's smelling the fact that he can really crank it up on the world's best. Matty Wilco just lighting that wave up. I love that for the commitment from the first turn. So does the boat. And watch his first maneuver here from Matty Wilco. He just throws everything, including the kitchen sink, at this one. Jamming it in the pocket, sliding out and then regathering. So unbelievable technique right there. Unbelievable control over his surfboard. And then to come around the section with speed and just rattle off some big, solid maneuvers. So,
well, let's join live action. Ian Gouveia will answer back to that repertoire of Matt Wilkinson's here, bringing his own version on the forehand. Lovely wrap, lots of speed blur right there. Now, more on the inside. You'll start thinking progression, but it'll be a nice squared up hit. So great surfing going on here in the opening heat of the morning. Julian Wilson looking for opportunity. He'll find it now as he moves onto the inside shelf. Nice tight angles for the first hit. Now loads up the second. Good speed and connectivity. Maneuver 3 coming up. Roofline float with lots of projection. And just not enough to find the corner down the reef. But nonetheless, Wilson keeps his tempo moving here. Opened up with the 6 pots.
With the lead, I like the flow that Julian's got. I like the tempo that he's running at, but he needs to get more of that down the line speed. You can see how he jams the board all the way back around, which kind of puts him behind the section. But sometimes that's what you want out here at Cloudbreak. You want to be driving around the section to keep yourself nice and deep and get those big turns in the pocket. Ian Gouveia, this was a 6.43. Good solid wave for Ian Gouveia, and look at that power turn from him straight into another one. It's a beautiful combination right there. And again, just didn't quite connect it on that turn. Another beautiful arcing maneuver. Very powerful young kid. Nice solid stance there, and that was a good solid wave to get himself back in the heat. Ian Gouveia just needing a 6.43 to get himself into that first spot. Watch this first turn from Matty Wilco. See how he moved that back foot forward, releasing those fins, creating that drift, creating that slide. And now on that occasion, keeping the foot on the pad, and again, just driving off those fins. Matty Wilco looking like he has found some confidence and is looking fantastic.
Dynamic stuff from Matt Wilkinson there. Forehand wraps, lots of angles. Strider, you got a good look at this one. Matt Wilkinson looking in form.
Yeah, he is. He actually just went down, absolutely crushing it off the lip. It's been a little tough. There's a little bit of ripple coming through it with the high tide coming. You know, that wind kind of blows across into the lineup, but
if you're just joining us, welcome to round 4 of competition here at the Outerknown Fiji Pro. Matt Wilkinson has found an 8.67, and he is in fine form here and looking for a possible yellow jersey if he finds a win here in Fiji.
Looking sharp, coming off a final berth last year. Matty Wilco carrying a lot of confidence. A little bit of a different look to the lineup here this morning as opposed to last year. Some big gaping barrels last year, but
calendar for Matt Wilkinson. First on tour in 2010. We'll talk more about this because this is the first year on tour for Ian Gouveia, son of the former champ in Fabio. Down the line speed. Oh. Lovely attrition and application to that turn. Now more on the inside, and that'll be an incomplete. So trying to find the progression element here.
Yeah, did he need to do that? Maybe not, maybe not. I think finish your wave off.
A replay of Ian Gouveia here. Let's have a look at that rail speed.
Just a smaller wave. So first turn, nice hooking maneuver right there. Didn't bring the board all the way around. Why? Because he needed to get down the line to this turn right here. That was better from Ian Gouveia, just holding that rail, and then an incomplete ride. The judges aren't going to like that. You've got to finish your wave off, especially at this level, especially at this point of the event.
We'll see Matty Wilkinson take the yellow jersey. Head to J Bay. Let's have a look at Julian Wilson, who will want to put a bit of pressure on this turn. He does. Lovely snap. His connectivity between turns is flawless. And there's 3 big ones for the judges to think about. See a little pensive nod of the head from Potts next to me here. Because Julian knows exactly how to put pressure on in the heat at the right time. Still 6.5 to go. Prior to that wave, a 4.67 in Julian's total. Now Matt Wilkinson's held that priority for a while, and he'll play this wave selection. First turn, now second turn. Puts it down on the wave face, links it to the lip again. A little bit of body English as well there, just to say I like it. He's in good mood and good form, and why wouldn't he be?
Which is going to push that requirement a little bit further out. Let's have a look at Julian's wave. Talk about the bottom turn, top turn combo. I mean, that was beautiful right there. And again, straight into the next maneuver. Not wasting any space on this wave, knowing it's not going to stretch out to be one of those long runners. So identifying that, tagging it a bunch of times. I think it's going to be a great score for Julian. Matty Wilco, on the other hand, more down the line speed. You can see looking further down the line, up and over the top there, and a float maneuver to finish. So I think he's going to better that 4. I think Julian's going to need something up into that 7-point range. Let's have a look at Matty Wilco's again. Nice snap. More of a sort of a float maneuver right there, and again just finishing off that tail tapping drop. So I'm calling advantage Wilson. I like that more dynamic snapping maneuvers in the pocket.
The South Pacific is a big playing field. The man with priority will turn it down. He'll jumping on opportunities as Julian Wilson as we follow him here. Very vertical approach. This wave is a little bit slopey, but he'll find a pocket and he'll just nab the bowl there. Now another little jam. Tapered face for Julian Wilson to keep rail work. So that wave moved just a little bit off the reef there, Pot, so that size not paying out on that particular wave.
Yeah, but damage was done though, right? I mean, there was a couple of beautiful turns on that wave. A little bit bigger, a bit more open face.
Other numbers checking in now. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, this is a 793. Beautiful opening maneuver. I like the way it comes all the way back down and around the section, keeping himself right in the guts of the wave, and again just tagging that. So the judges loved it. All the way up to an 8.8, and then this is his last ride, so needing now a 6.35 on this. Beautiful opening turn. I love this under the lip snap, showing some variety, showing something different, which I love. And then, as you said, the wave kind of tapered out, not a lot of vertical face left, but Julian Wilson surfed that wave about as good as you possibly could, needing a 6.35.
What are we thinking,
Yeah,
Potts?
I'm thinking it's not going to really get there.
And then there's Julian Wilson, who's the competitor, who's a little more conservative, and somewhere in between those two, that may be where the world champion lies.
Great breakdown there from Barton Lynch as we see a little in and out from Wilco.
Yeah, I like that analogy, BL, if you can still hear me. So what's he got to do then? How many times I've said that to myself and heard that many times. But, you know, BL hit the nail on the head there. You've got to structure your heat to a point where you get your first two waves under your belt and then open up and cut loose. Matty Wilco did that from the get-go, dropping an 8.67. A backup of just a 5.6 was good enough to win.